Sorry, can you come again that question? I couldn't understand.
Actually, you means when I need to install the Git, you install Git on the machine itself, okay? And but when need the Maven installation, you install from Jenkins.
Mhm.
So why you didn't install from on the machine itself? Why?
Why? Because like developers are fighting. Uh, you are saying I need a Maven 3.x, 3.1, and someone else is saying 3.2, someone else is saying 3.3. You know that if you set up the system level installation, you can do only at 1. So here I need a 3. So for just to make it my team happy, I need to have a 3. Now we have a flexibility. Which Maven you want? I will ask you, and I will select here, and that Maven version automatically it will be used.
Okay. Means more option is there.
Okay. So now this is the basics way to set up a job. Now let's say I want to put in the right perspective. I want to one job for compile, one for test, one for package, one for deploy. So let's do that. So I'm getting lazy. So if I'm feeling lazy, what to do? I'm going to do some lazy work. So for that, I have this job compile. This is the first. I'm going to rename it. So let's renamed it till now. Again, now I need a second job test. Again, I'm getting lazy. So this time I'm getting lazy and I spent too much time setting up this job. The new job I need test, but I'm not going to set up from scratch. I'm going to copy the same job which I built it already. And everything is copied from the compile job in this new job, and I will modify here only the goal name. So here goal name, you know that if you know the Maven, test. Save it. My second job is also ready. Now again I need a third job, packaging. Here you go in, give the name, copy from the again same job, template job, whatever you want to call it, or compile, here package, save it till now. Again, this is a deploy job, and here new, here I'm going to copy it again, compile, okay, and then it change the goal name, and here done, save it, and this one. So now I got the 4 job. Okay, now all these 4 job will do the different functionality. One will compile, one will test, one will package, one will deploy, and that is how I got these 4 jobs. Okay, so now let's play with some more features of this. So now in this first job which we have a compile, second job which we have a test. If you remember in the source code I had some test script. It was a unit test script, right? So now what I want to do, I want to display the test results somewhere here. Okay, because if you really want the test results, you have to click on the workspace, you have to go to the target directory, you have to go to the Surfire reports, then this is your test results. So this is not good, right? It's not the dashboard, it's not report. So Jenkins is good for the dashboarding. So what to do? Now I have this one. See, this is the path. Okay, this is the path. This is a path, and then this is my reports. Okay, so this is the path, and this is my reports, and here I'll remove this space extra and all. So it's good. So this is the reports. Now XML reports, what I'm going to do? I'm a very dumb person, so what should I do with this XML report? I need a better dashboard, graphical user interface. So that is where that JUnit plugins will help you. Fortunately, JUnit plugin is already installed as part of the suggested plugin. So the plugin is installed, I'm going to use it. Now here I'm going to use it. So let's go to the configuration again, edit the project. Go to the post build action, because after the testing only you can display the reports, right? So here in the post build action, here you do the build, testing, and here post build action. In the post build action, you have so many options. don't look out for all the options and get mad. Look for what you need. I want to do this one. Publish JUnit test results report, and then give the XML path. Here I already copied the XML path for us, and then give it version, let it be, and save it. Again, one more time, build now after the changing the things. And it will be very fast because small projects. Now you see here, latest test results has come. Now this dashboard is not good because only one test results, just unit test. But if you have thousands of test results, 600 will be passing, 400 will be failing, 300 is not touch. This dashboard will be very, very nice, So that way you got to know immediately. So people will come and see, okay, now I want to know the test results. They will come and check here. So no need to, read that XML file. So this is the way you can do that. Now in the packaging, what we do, by the way, in the packaging we create a jar file. There is a jar file. If you look at the jar file, it's in target directory. Here is the jar file. So this is a target directory. So this is a target directory. And here this is a jar file. Right? 1 jar, 2 jar. So what I want, because I want to make it this jar file somewhere linked here. So people should download immediately. Not like, you should go to this, then download from here. It's so lazy, right? So people should get downloaded from the this place only. So what to do? So again, I'll go modify here configuration. Okay, post bill action, because after packaging only you do something to make it. Here you see archive the artifacts. Which file you want to archive? So archive the artifacts here under the target directory. It's a relative path, by the way, okay, from the workspace. And then star.jar. I'll keep it all the jar. You can specify the one jar, but I'll keep it all the jar till now. Now you see I got this job, and here see all the jar has come. Okay. So this is the way you can see that how this each job you can confirm. So if we see that here, why this is not passing, by the way? Any idea? What is happening here? What is happening here? Deploy is taking too much of time. Could be the reason.
It's not able to connect the repository.
Yeah, right. Deploy, remember, it will upload the artifacts packages to the Nexus or artifact tray, and that feature is that site is not there. So that we have to fix it. We will fix it in some time. So let's do that. So now this is the one of the way you can set it up all this job and configure it. Now one thing I don't like. Let's say I don't like this 4 job. Okay. So why should we having 4 job for this thing? Can we have it only 1 job? Yes, you can have a 1 job only, 1 for all. And I'll copy from here, compile, click OK. Now what I'm going to do, this time I'm going to play with one very, very powerful feature that is called this project is parameterized. Okay, this project is parameterized. That means you can set the project, parameters for the project. You can pass the parameters for this project online, during runtime. How you can do that? Just do that. As the parameter, I'll go for the one of the options, string parameter. Now, what is the value name? Name is like a goal. What is the default value? Let's make it compile. Now here you want to describe something. Age, enter, a Maven goal. Okay. Now here, this is the variable name. This is the default value. This is the description. So variable name I'm going to use in the display. So goal name here it will not be compiled. Rather than this is the way you can call the variable in Jenkins. Curly braces, curly braces closing. Now save it. Now see, the moment you use the parameter, instead of build now, it becomes a build with parameter. Now you define you want to compile or test or package or what exactly you want to do. So now only one job you can do all these things. Let's say you're your Jenkins user are dumb. They don't know anything about the goals, what goal to pass. So sometimes they will pass the one of the wrong goal, and if they pass the wrong goals, that build will be failed. See, wrong goals build but fail because that Maven goal is not exist. Okay, this goal is not exist. So you can also play with that, and you can hard code in a different way. For example, go to the configuration. Okay, and here you see change this instead of string parameter, you can change a list parameter. So choice parameter, here goal, and here give the options compile, test, package, install. What else you have option? Deploy, verify, all these things. So you give these options. Now the user will get only defined options. So there is no point of failures. So this is the way you can use the parameter options in the project. So parameterized options in Jenkins. Got it? Right? So now this is the way. So yes. So now the time has come when I should start integrating. So yes, you could set it up this job.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, I didn't get the parameter. What means previous topic? I didn't get, sir. Parameterized topic means one for all. How you can say one for all? I didn't get, sir. Please do once again.
One for all means I didn't get you. What is your question?
Actually, I didn't understand, sir. Actually, please explain once again.
If you see that this job compile, here you are just build now. There is no parameter which is being prompted. But here if you see that, I am having parameter options. So here I can pass the parameter which I want to pass the Maven goal, right? So how can you enable that? That's the question. You can enable it using this property. This project is parameterized. You can set that type of the property. It's like HTML forms, and then you can enable that. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So now this is the way you can set it up the basic job. Again, do not get afraid from the features of Jenkins because nothing is compulsory. And one more thing, second statement, the more plugins you install, the more feature you get. So do not get scared. So now one more important thing which I would like to suggest you here. If you go to the configuration and each options at the end of it, you get the question mark. Okay. If you're not sure about that, you just click on this and you get the very good tutorials for each of the options. Okay. Or these plugins you can get, you just type this word in the Google and that plugins will come and you can read about the plugins because there are hundreds and thousands of plugins in Jenkins and each behaves differently. So do not get scared. And none of these are compulsory. Okay. So be on this concept and then you can enjoy the Jenkins. So now we'll integrate back to my main job. Jenkins is built for the CI. CI means integration. So let's start with the integration with the Jira. So now anything which you want to integrate, first rule is you have to install the plugins. These all options which you can find here because of plugins. Yes, so if you want to install if you want to integrate Jenkins with Jira, you have to install them. The question is, how can we install the plugins? So here, go to the Manage Jenkins. And last time I tried global tool configuration where we can set the tools, but this time I'm going to manage plugins. Manage plugins means I'm going to add, remove, enable, and disable the plugins. So look at this here, manage plugins. You have a 4 tab, updates the plugins which is got outdated, available the plugins which can be installed, which is already installed, and advanced. If you have developed some of the plugins your own, you can upload it. So I'll go for the available tab and type in the filter Jira. And the moment I type Jira, it's got so many Jira searches here it comes, and you have to read all this stuff. But if you look at this, I think I'm looking for it. This one. This plugin integrates Jenkins to Atlas and Jira. But yes, before using the plugin, read about each of these filters which you got it, which will help you to build your understanding much better. So select install without restart. Jira plugins is being installed now, and it got installed. Success. Yes, it's got success. Now let me tell you here, Jenkins is not a magician. Jenkins, if you want to integrate, simple thing. Jenkins is here in one server. Jira is here in another server. How Jenkins will come to know this is a Jira? So you have installed the plugins, and in the plugins you have to tell this is a Jira URL, user ID, password, this, that. So that is called configuration. So after installing the Jenkins, you have to configure it. Any configuration, again, all the admin options you can find the manage Jenkins on. So manage Jenkins, and here you see the configuration. So configure system, click on it. And here, any plugins which you have installed, their configuration can be done. So you can see a lot of options. Do not get scared. Focus on your goal. Your goal is right now Jira. In the configuration option, I have a Jira, add Jira. You can add as many sites you wanted. But for time being, I have only one Jira. This Jira is here. And here I want the authentications, user ID, credentials. I know that, so I'm setting up, but you should read at least once so you get the confidence. Here, what is the username? Admin. And password is here, Jira. And here, click add, select the credentials. Now validate here last. Success. That means my Jenkins can connect now to the Jira. Save it. Done. Now what I want, the moment the build is failed, it should trigger and create one ticket and assign to someone. So for that, I need to go to Jira. This is not Jira. This is not Jira. This is Jira. Yeah. So here I want to create one project in Jira. Okay. So let's get created. So start a new project, create a new project, and what is the date today? Friday, Thursday. THRSDAY. Remember, key is this one. Submit. So this is the project which we all are working today. And here what I want, very simple expectations. Whenever this job is failed, compile job, you should go and create a ticket and assign to a user called Rajesh. Okay. So by the way, what is my username? Username is ADMI. So it should assign to ADMI. So let's go and set it up, configure, post build action, because you want to create a ticket at the end of it. So you have to go to the post build action. Here you see Jira option, create issue, create. The moment you install the plugins, all these options will come. So create issues, create version, blah, blah, blah. Here, what is a project key? So project key is Thursday. Not a name, it's a key, remember. Who should be assigned? So assigned is the admin. We have only one user. What is the priority of this task? Highest. What is the type? It should be task. Save. Now let me build now. Remember, right now I'm building without any problem. So compilation will happen without any problem. Now, if there is a compilation happen without any problem, if you go to console output, if success, nothing has happened. No ticket has been created yet. You can refresh the Jira. You see there is no tickets. But failures will create a ticket. So configure, and intentionally I am failing it. Most of the time you will not do that. Intentionally you will fail the job, but here just to reproduce that integration, I'm filling it. Now I made the goal name wrong till now. That goal is not exist. And now it got failed. Go to the console output and it got failed. You see that there's one ticket got created. Jira. Go to the Jira and refresh. And now this ticket got created here and assigned to me. Here you can see that, check that. And the build docs, you can find it here. Console build number 10 got assigned to admin, the only one user. And if you do more activity, it automatically gets updated. So now it got assigned, so you have to work on that. So what is the build? Okay, so I'm working on it, start progress. Yes, I'm working. Let's fix this issue. Go here, configuration, fix this bugs. Yes, there's a problem which is here. Correct it, save it, build now. So build now, I have to fix these options. And I think I fixed it. The moment we fix it, it also commented same issues Thursday 1. And if you go here, refresh. And now you see that comment I did a build now just now previously failed, now is okay. It's okay, it worked, and this ticket got closed. So this is the way you can work with Jira and Jenkins integrations. Got it?
So same procedure we can apply for the ServiceNow ticket as well, right?
Yes, but do the same things, almost same procedures. Okay, guys. Now next time has come where you have to integrate with SonarQube. Now rules are same. Okay, always rules are same. Okay, formulas are same. If you want to integrate SonarQube, go ahead, Jenkins, manage plugins, available plugins. What is that? SonarQube. And here I know this one. You have to read it once if you are doing it. But I know that is the plugins which will help me to integrate. So install that. Now it's getting installed. After installation the plugin, you know that what you have to do? Configuration. That means Jenkins should know where is a SonarQube. So configuration. So here you go here and refresh. It should be done in few seconds. Now, by the way, Jenkins, SonarQube, what are the 3 things which are required? Do you know? What are the 3 things? Anyone remember that?
SonarQube runner,
Sonar scanner.
Server and scanner and source code. Remember. So I need a source code. Let's get a source code. So I have a sample source code, same sample source code. I'm going to use it. So this is a source code. This is the one. And now this is the source code. Okay. So now guys, I got this plugins installed. Now I have to configure it. So go to the manage Jenkins configuration system. What is the URL of the SonarQube? This is now SonarQube here, add name server token. So SonarQube is not working with the password but token. How can you get the token? You have to log into the admin account, go to the security. Here you can generate as many tokens you want. 1 token is okay for me now. And then token is the another method to authenticate, save. Now I'm creating one new job this time, and this is called analysis. Here freestyle project, click OK, and then this is a project I'm going to check out. Source code management, and in the build option you get the execute SonarQube scanner. Now this I will leave it as it is, save it. Now this is a SonarQube server is there, source code I got it, but scanner is not there. Where is the scanner? Scanner we have to install it in global tool configuration. So go to the and install the scanner here, add scanner, and This will be automatically installed from the website. Save it. Everything you got it. And now analysis. Simple. So this is very simple. See, SonarQube link has come, and it will not take much time. Scanner you got, source server you got, and then here you can see that analysis has happened. Click on this project, and this is the scanning automatically is done. So this is the way you can integrate SonarQube with Jenkins. Now next one is this Nexus. Now I can install the Nexus plugin same which I did with the Jira and SonarQube. I can do the same thing with Nexus also. But you know one thing, Jenkins plugins is not always the right solutions. Again, I'm telling you, plugin is not always the right solution. If you become dependent on too much on the plugins, and it will be a problem for you because these plugins got developed by community, and if these plugins not get up to date with the Jenkins release, that will be creating a problem for you. So you should not be dependent on plugins all the time. If you see that plugins are there, which will help me to upload the artifact to the Nexus repository. Should I use it? Yes, I can go ahead and use it, but I'm not going to use it. This is where you have to know and you have to showcase your expertise. Tell me one thing. Without using the Jenkins plugin of Nexus, how can I upload an artifact to the Nexus? How can you do that?
Using pom.xml file, there we can define Nexus properties.
Yes.
And deploy using deploy goal. Yeah, we can
right
upload.
So you got the points here. Let's do that. So I have already taught you how to use Nexus, ADMIN 1, 2, 3, and I will create one repository quickly. Let's create a repository here, and here this repository Maven hosted, and all. I'm creating all repository, only one release type. I don't care too much here, and here I created all. Okay. Now copy this repository. Now go to the source code. I think your source code somewhere at and Maven here, and this is the pom.xml. Let me online modify, and here I just change the URL. This is the correct URL. I change. Remember, same site it should be matching. Here you have what type. Here you have a version, which is some properties there. Yes. So property. Okay. This version is. I will delete this one. Okay. Because that property is not defined here somewhere. So commit. And okay, so here this is the version, release version. Now everything is great, and this is the pom.xml update. So now I have to modify the setting.xml also. So setting.xml, I don't know where the Maven is there for this job. So let's go hit deploy job, which was failing. Hit the console output. Everything is in log. So everything is in log. You don't have to ask anyone. This is the Maven installation location. This is the Maven home, and I will go to, this is Maven home. This is a conf file, and in this conf file, this is a setting.xml. In setting.xml, carefully I will go to the location which is called server. I'm sure you might have not forgotten the same topic which I have covered just last week. And here is the servers. Okay, now I will copy this thing because commented, remember, I am going to insert graph A here. If you do in the GUI, it will be better, but now this ID should be yum. I think what was the ID? I think yum. ID is same. Sorry, same. So ID here is SYM and username is ADMIN and password is ADMIN123 and quickly, softly setting.xml. That's all. Now I will run this job one more time. And here test has happened, upload has happened, and now you can go and browse your repository, which is here. All here you got this. Yodel 5.0. So deployments also work fine. So yes, teaching is yes, plugin is good, but not always. You should try to skip the plugins. Not always you should depend on the plugins. So now let's go and hit the things. So we integrated with Jira, integrated with Git, SonarQube, Maven, JUnit, Jar, Nexus. So far, do we have any questions?
Yes, so for Nexus, you updated the POM XML in two places, one in GitHub and the other one in Jenkins itself. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Same thing which I taught you in the Nexus class. I did the same thing. Right?
Yep.
Rajesh,
That will be.
whenever the build fails, can we configure any mail or something?
Yes, we can do that. Remember, I told you, CI means immediate feedback. I had to come here. I had to reach out here.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Now, next thing is how can we do the Ansible stuff? That means how can we take the packages which I am having here and deploy to n number of servers. Now, you those who's going to tell me? I mean, this is a problems you have and you have to fix it. So how can you do that? And I am telling you, I'm not going to use the plugins for that.
Yeah, we can use Ansible playbook. There we can curl the Nexus artifact. Then we will use the shell module in Ansible, where source will be where I am downloading the artifact, and destination will be my remote server IP location. Maybe it is.
We will go one by one. Okay, so step by step. How to deploy to QA server to 100 QA server using Ansible, and GUI is supported by Jenkins because we are not going to use a tower, which is a paid service. That should be create a burden on the project. So now here Ansible will be the backend tool. The graphical user interface will be front end will be Jenkins. So now you tell me step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, and everyone can participate in this because it's like this. You will be working in your real-time project. There, my demo will not work. Trust me. You will have to create your algorithm yourself by having the understanding with these tools. So how can you create algorithm? Pseudocode. Tell me. First thing, step number 1.
Create a manifest.
We will create an inventory file.
Create an inventory file. Just a second, let me write it. Create an inventory file which has hundreds of machines. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. What is the second step?
Uh, we will download the artifact from Nexus to the Ansible server.
How you will download?
Write a playbook
Yes, write a playbook
to download
which will download a Nexus, a package from Nexus.
Nexus.
What is the third step?
Write a playbook. Write a play to send that package from to all the servers.
That's a playbook. It's a playbook. Third thing, install Ansible. In where? In where? Where?
In Jenkins, or we can use separate server also.
Jenkins node, right?
Yes.
Correct? So now it's like this, Jenkins node. And then fourth thing, run a Ansible command. So basically rest of the things will be done by Ansible. Just you are calling in the job. So right now you have got this one. So let me show you here. I am going to do the same thing. So 4 steps. Are you clear with this?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead. If you remember, I have one repository for that also. Sample repository. So github.com Ansible role here. And this is the repository. Here you have a Rajesh roles playbook, a site.yaml. So go ahead and deploy to QA. Deploy to QA. And freestyle project, click OK. Here, source code management, git. Here in the build options, here I will run shell script, run Ansible command. By the way, anyone remember the commands? Can you tell me? Ansible hyphen playbook and name of the inventory file
using
and then name of the playbook, which is site.yaml. And then this command will work, and authentications and all, you have to set it up. And then from Jenkins it looked like it's deploying by Jenkins, but internally it will deploy by Ansible. That is, your Ansible playbook is not found, you have to install the Ansible and all. You have to create a playbook, you have to pass the keys and all. So now did you understand that how can you use that Ansible to integrate with Jenkins? Understood?
Yes, can you repeat
Can you show me when you show the path of that playbook once again?
This is the part of the playbook.
Okay.
So step number 1, first thing, before integrating, see, tools number 1, know about the tools and architecture. What is happening here? I'm not doing anything great. I'm just exploiting the features. See here. This is Ansible server, ACS. Inside that you have an inventory, playbook, and the command is the one which I said just now. This is the command, the Ansible playbook. So now this is your Jenkins. Now this server you can use here also, Jenkins master node. So now this will inventory file, this will deploy everything. So from the front end it will look like Jenkins is doing, but from the back end Ansible will be working. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Where you put the information of Ansible server in Jenkins? Can you go over that please quickly?
Ansible server of Jenkins? Ansible server, Jenkins itself will act like a server. Jenkins server also will act like an Ansible server. Can't you install the Ansible in the ACS? Because Ansible is this machine can act like a Ansible also if you install the Ansible. Don't you?
Okay, I'm a little confused. So Can you go back a little bit on the Jenkins server, please? Okay, so install the Ansible with Jenkins.
See, these three things you have to do in the Jenkins server, okay? And then run the command. So basically everything you have to do in Jenkins server.
Okay. Have you done it right now, or you just?
No, I have a program. It's just if you have a right inventory, right? What is it? This one. So if you see that this job, this got checkout, all these files got checkout. Now we are running that command, but Ansible is not installed, so that's the reason it's failing. Ansible, see, Ansible command not.
So you have all the command in a GitHub somewhere, and then you just
not command. It's a playbook.
Okay. Would you please open the site.yaml file, playbook? Yes. Okay.
But that is something.
There is this is playbook.
This is a playbook, but this is a role playbook. So here, what is happening? I'll show you here. Where you should run web. Web is what group? So where is a web inventory? Here you have a web, but it's not defined here. It's not defined web here, but you can consider this will be the inventory where you have a web. Now, if you see that here, there is a role named Rajesh.role 1. Here Rajesh role 1, and this is your playbook, main.yaml. So this is the playbook. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. So you could solve your problem yourself here, Ansible. Now, next one is how to trigger the Selenium. The moment got installation done, Ansible will call that test script automatically, and then it will be done the Selenium test cases and all. Now, Jacoco. For the Jacoco, I have a CC code coverage. Jacoco, I have a sample projects. Let me do that quickly. So, Jacoco is like a test of code coverage, by the way. Understand that. So here you have a Jacoco here. So I can use this project. So first thing I'm going to do one thing, install the Jacoco plugin. Rules is simple. Jacoco plugin available. Jacoco here. Install the plugins. Jacoco is a library, so don't need to configure it. Here CC freestyle, click OK. Source code management, Git. In the build, you have to call the test, because if you do not call the test, code coverage cannot be done. So here test, and here post build action, Jacoco. Leave it as it is default because I designed the source code, so it will support this setup now. And your code coverage also is done. Okay, so now this is the all this thing. So now you could see that how to integrate. Again, in your scenario, project scenario, you will see the hell lot of other options you can integrate. Now, see, all the jobs are integrated on Jenkins, but this link is missing. See, this arrow is missing. So how can you trigger without from here to here without manual intervention? How can you do that? Very simple. Go to the first job. I think first job is analysis. Analysis will call. So go to the configuration. Analysis will call which job? Analysis call the compile job. So compile. So analysis will go post build action, build other projects here, and here it should call compile. Save it, refresh it. So compile will call test. So go to the compile, configure post build action, build other project, test. Save it, refresh it. Test will call package. Same thing you have to do with every job. Post build action, projects. You can this one move up here, package. You're not able to hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes.
Your voice is disconnected.
I'm in home actually. It's disconnected for everyone.
No, it's clear.
No, sir.
No, it's fine for us.
So
Only for this kind of image. From there, it's getting disconnected.
package, refresh. Package will call next project, which will be deployed to repo. So deploy to repo, push will action. Deploy to repo. Okay. So deploy to deploy, refresh. Deploy to repo. Deploy will call deploy to repo. So post will action, build other project, deploy to QA. Deploy to QA will call last job, which is called CC, and code coverage. Here, build other project, CC, and here save it and refresh it. Now all the jobs, this is link is established. This arrow is established. Now to call the analysis, the rest of the jobs will be called automatically if it's not failed. You can set that even if it's failed, it should cross that setting. You can do that. But analysis is done. See, compile is in queue. Now compile is in progress. You can see compile is in progress, and like that, it will be calling everything. So this is the way you can use Jenkins to integrate everything. Now,
Sir?
good. Yeah.
Sir, if in any phase if the problem occurs, then Jira will get the errors.
So I configured only for the one job at a time. You have to configure with every job.
Yes, once I'm saying if in any phase the problem occurs, okay, then in Jira the problems will show now.
Yeah, it should show if you configure it. I configure for demo only one job.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so now you see that a lot of things. So now next one is how can you get immediate feedback? Immediate feedback, remember CI, the main concept is also continuous build, automated testing, and immediate feedback. So how can you get the immediate feedback? So immediate feedback, you can get it from the email, chat, and dashboard. So let me tell you, Jenkins is not capable to send an email. Only SMTP can be send an email. SMTP. So now the question is how to set up SMTP. So go to the manage Jenkins, configure system. Basically, for sending an email, there is two plugins. One plugin we call it. Let me show you first thing. Go to the any job, configuration. Mails always sent to the post build action. Here add post build action. You see that there's two options: email notification, editable email notifications. So here there are two plugins: email notification, and here editable email notifications. Okay, so these are the two plugins. One plugin is very simple. One plugin is, if you go here, it's simple. See here, you can put the email address and it works. Now, another plugins is little bit complicated and advanced. This is the one. Here, see, all this you can customize. Apply to content type, subject, content, attach, advanced settings. A lot of other options are there. But let me tell you here, these two plugins will not work until you set up SMTP. The question is, how can you set up SMTP? For that, go to the Jenkins, manage Jenkins, configure system. All the configuration, configure system. And here you search SMTP. You have two options. One is this one is extended email notification, which is for advanced here, and then one is small, simple. This is the one. So you talk to your IT team, get your SMTP information, store it, and validate it here, and then now Jenkins will start sending an email. Depends on failures, success, stuff, this, that, all this condition. You can set it in the configuration option, post build action. Here, let's say simple one. If you're using, say, want to send a build every unstable build, or you want to build who broke the build, or what exactly, and advanced options is also there. So yes, Jenkins can send an email using these two plugins using SMP. Jenkins can send you into the chat also. So most of the time, very popular chat is like a Slack or Jabber. Okay, you can do WhatsApp also, that is possible. So if you want to have a Slack, again, manage plugin, manage Jenkins, manage plugins, available tab, Slack, install this. Here Slack notification, this plugin you need it, install without restart. Your plugins is being installed, and
Your page is stuck, sir.
stuck
Yes, it's
for everyone.
the page of
Yes, Rajesh, it is stuck in SMTP server.
Now, where are you?
Jenkins.
yes coming.
Now in Jenkins.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Yes, it is access. Yeah.
Not bad.
okay.
Not bad.
So now yes, you can install the plugins. Jabber plugins, I installed it. Now you can go to configure the Jabber plugin. Sorry, Slate plugin. So in the configure Slate, see here Slate Webhooks plugin. You set it up in Slate, and after that you can go to any job, configure any job, and yes, you can send the Slate notification, chat notifications also. So where is the Slate? Slate is here. And you can send when you want the Slate chat to be sent. So define this build start, success, aborted, not build stream, unstable, this, that. So you can set this Slack, Jabber, WhatsApp, all this thing. Now coming back to the how can you get the immediate feedback using dashboard. So there's a two kind of dashboard which you can build it. One is like a build pipeline, which is a very simple, and another one is a pipeline. For this you have to write a code. So here build pipeline I'm going to show you now. So go to the Jenkins, leave it, manage Jenkins, manage plugins, available, build pipeline plugins. Here, build pipeline plugins, install without restart. Now this build pipeline plugin is dependent on many other pipeline plugins, many other plugins. So those are getting installed. Now build pipeline plugin is installed, and after creating the dependency between the each job, okay, you can call this one. Click on here. This is a CI pipeline from DevOpsSchool.com, and here click all. Here you have so many options, but right now only one is important. First job, because I have already created the dependency before that. This is your pipeline, and you want to configure and you want more. Just a second. So here configuration, I want 5 options. here, and now you see this is a pipeline. You can showcase and know that where is failing, which is passing, which is calling what, all this thing. So this is the build pipeline. It was very easy. But you can program also pipeline. How can you program? So that is a called here pipeline plugin. For that, new DevOps school here, and pick this one, this third one, pipeline. Click OK. All these options will remain same, but here you write the programs. Some of the sample programs is already given. Hello world, this is a node. Hello world, GitHub. Now you see that here. Preparation stage, build stage, result stage. Now here you give the job. So job URL I can use mine here. This job. So you have to learn a little bit of this scripting over there. It will take some time. So I just change this here. This job. This is a tool Maven. So what was the Maven? Something Maven 301 or something. I set it up. Now this is the clean package. This is again showing the test results. I save it and run. Now this is the pipeline which you can create through the scripting. Jenkins file. Now you must be wondering, how can I learn this Jenkins script? Yes, this scripting you have to learn. It's a Groovy script, by the way. So just you type Jenkins pipeline, and here you have a book which will help you to create a pipeline. All these tutorials, which you can have it, you should come here and see that. Now you want the sample program sent to Jenkins file. You can refer it to my GitHub URL, where you get lots of sample programs and lots of your. So this is the way you can get the feedback. Yes, you can get an email, chat, dashboard. Now coming back to the scheduling, how can you schedule the job? For scheduling, again, there's so many methods are given. On time, that means fixed time. You want to trigger a job at the fixed time. So if you want to trigger a job at the fixed time, there's an option which you can use, which is in each job. Go to the configuration job, and you'll see that there's a trigger options here. If you want to trigger at the fixed time, you have to use build periodically option. This is nothing but the cron tab. Okay? This is the cron tab. You set the cron tab at that time, automatically this build will trigger. Now, if you don't know how to cron tab and all, look out the Google results, or there's a quick short tutorials are being given to read it. So there's some sample programs are there for the cron tab. There's some hard coding is also there for the cron tab, like that. So build periodically. Second option is there, fixed time. Fixed time, but only when changes. That means it should trigger at a certain time, but it should build only if there is a SCM changes, code changes. So for that, you have to use this option. This is again in cron time, but your tool is very intelligent. It will check your Git first. Do I have a new commit, fresh commit compared to the last commit? If not, then no build. But if it is there, then it will build. You can integrate from the script also. And for the scripting, using scripting, you can also trigger. So for this option. This option is not straightforward the way you just click and start working. For this, you have huge little bit of detailed tutorials which I have written already at this location here. Here, this one. So this tutorial will help you. Now you can trigger a job based on few other options like 8 other projects are built. And you can trigger based on the Git pooling also. So when someone's push that, someone push to GitHub or or Bitbucket, then also you should get it. So that tutorial is also step by step to have it. So GitHub, this is the one. And Bitbucket, if you are using Bitbucket here. Gerrit is also there. As of now, the link is you cannot find over there, but if you search on the Google, devoxschool.com homepage, you will find it. Gerrit also somewhere is there. So like that. So now, guys, yes, Jenkins is made for continuous automated build, automated testing, immediate feedback, continuous integration, different multiple tools, feedback using email, chat, and dashboard. You can schedule a number of ways, and then this is your Jenkins. Okay, now remember again, the more plugins install, the more feature you get. The less plugins install, less feature you get. This is the kind of Jenkins. It's a kind of place where you can play around and then automate everything about your project. Question time.
How we can
Hello?
What is the webhook? I heard somewhere in some webhook can automatically trigger build and all.
So webhooks basically it's not a part of the Jenkins. Understand that here. This is your Jenkins, okay? And this is a job number 1. Now this is your GitHub or Bitbucket. There you have a webhooks. Webhooks are here. Now this is you, developers. Now when you push the code to GitHub, the moment the push happens, your hooks get bigger, webhooks get bigger. That will call the job number to build it. Why? Because you have pushed the new code. You should build and validate the code is good or not. So here, webhooks you can find GitHub, Bitbucket, or Gerrit. Got it?
Yes.
Question, guys.
how we can set up the high availability setup?
Yes. So first thing, before setting up the high availability, you have to set up a node. So for the nodes, question is how to set up a node. So for setting up the node, first thing you have to have a JRE or JDK. Most of the time you'll have a JDK itself. Now I'm going to set up a node. Fortunately, I have a machine which is a dock. I can use the same machine to set up a node. So let's do one thing. First, let me install in this machine Java. So quickly, Java is important because without that you cannot do here. This is my Docker machine where I'm installing as a node. It's a separate machine, not a Jenkins machine. Remember. I'm installing Java. Most of the time the VMs will be having Java pre-installed, but in training we normally showcase from the scratch. Here I install the Java. So after the Java is there, now you create one directory where you should be having the work directory. So here I am creating one directory Jenkins in temp directory. So this is the directory which I am having. So now just give this permission chmod 777. Normally you will create one user called Jenkins because Jenkins run as a Jenkins user, but as of now I'm not doing it, adding a user account and all. Here I'm giving the complete access. So now you got this directory which will be working directory. Now my machine is ready to become a node. Now go to the Jenkins. Go to the Jenkins here. Manage Jenkins. Manage nodes, which is here. Add more nodes. This is the new nodes. Linux. Permanent node. Click OK. And provide this work directory here. Now host. What is IP address? IP address is this one. And what is the password? And password I don't have, but I have a keys. So let me add the keys. Not password, I have a keys. So here ID, not ID, username is ec2-user, and password, keys, I have it in this directory. Password you could have it, but AWS has a keys. This is the keys, and this is EC2.
Is this PM key or PP key?
PEM. Okay. Now this I will disable non-verifying verification strategy. Save it. Now you see this cross sign that is not connected. Click on it, and it got connected. Yes. See, everything was correct. It got connected. So it got connected. If you look at the directory here, it got remoting.jar. Basically, this is running in the process background. Okay. Java. See here, it's running Java remoting.jar. So now it got connected. Now I want to do this job, which is compilation, not in the node. See here, you have two nodes. Let me remind you. I got one master node, which is on master server. I got one Linux node. Linux node here, two nodes. Now where you want to build, you can select this. The moment you add a node, you can go to the configuration. There's one option which will be enabled after adding the nodes. Restrict where this project can be run. I say Linux, not default master. Now build it. It will fail because in the Linux Maven and Git is not there. It will fail. But important thing, where did it run? See that Linux. But it is getting failed because the Git is not there. Maven. So you have to install the node itself. But this is the way you can add a node. But the important question was how to set up the HA. So for HA is also damn simple. Here you go to that Jenkins, manage Jenkins. Here manage nodes. Now important, let me remind you, the definition of HA means high availability. That means I have a two node, master and Linux. If I may have hundreds of other nodes, I want to build my job in any one of the available nodes. So how can you do HA? Let's say Linux is failed or master is failed. So how can I set up HA? Using labels. So this is a fun here. Go to the line master, configure it, and set the labels. Now labels I will keep it all. Or let's say DevOps school here, and this is the save. You can separate and put more label also. Also two labels I put, by the way. See all DevOps school. So here I will go and set it up same labels for the here, and I set it up DevOps school. I give it the one label, not two labels. Now here DevOps school. So by definition now, if I click on the all, then I should get one machine, which is one machine. But if I click on the DevOps school label, I should get two machine, which I have a two machine. Now, if I want to build this compilation, is any one of the available machines. Now here instead of calling Linux, I will call devopsschool.com, and here now any one of the available nodes will be automatically chosen, and it will build it. And this time again, we have chosen the Linux. It will fail because Git and Maven is not there. But important things, it has selected the nodes randomly based on the HA concept. Is that clear?
So this is not the HA means.
What is HA?
Means suppose I want whatever master have, whatever the jobs are there. So I want one more like Jenkins server so that if that master fails, so that I have another, I can go to that another server that will have the same content which master has, so that I can start
So
working on
you
that.
are talking about HA for Jenkins, not HA for the Jenkins builds. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Jenkins server. See, there's I explain you HA for Jenkins node. Okay?
Yes, yes, yes. Node for node, it's fine.
Yeah. So now you want to set up a HA for Jenkins server. So let's say suddenly this server will get disrupted due to some reason. So what to do? So first thing, if you want to set up for HA for Jenkins server, simple thing you have to do in Jenkins server, there something which is for var lib Jenkins. You have to take entire backup of this directory, okay, and run it at the different location, and you can do that, and then you can fetch it. Now there's so many ways in which you can take a backup. One of the simplest way I'm teaching you how can you take a backup is using the plugins, so which is called thin plugins, thin backup plugins. Again, I'm telling you there's so many ways in which you can take a backup. So let me show you the backup first, and then we'll talk about the HA. So here, go to Manage Jenkins, Manage Plugins, Available tab, Thin Backup. There's a simple plugin, Thin Backup. Here, Thin Backup. Install this. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure it. So where should I configure it? In the EMP. So EMP directory, mkdir back, cd back, chmod 777. I'm giving back and cd back. This directory I'm going to take a backup. Normally you should take a backup in the different machines, but I'm taking in the same machine because you mount it, you can get it this. So thin backup is set it up. Go to Manage Jenkins, thin backup configuration. Now you must be wondering how do I know all this setup? So actually, any plugins you use, first you have to read their documentation, or you'll get all this information. Directory, and then you're going to take a backup. All this thing I set it up and save it. I'm going to take a backup now. Taken a backup. Now you want to verify. Let's check it out. Backup is done or not. Backup is done. So you can pick it up. You can schedule the backup also. Every hours, every day, something like that. Incremental backup also. All this thing you have all this feature here. Now I've taken a backup. Let's say I'm getting crazy now. Crazy now means what? I will delete this job. My disruption has happened, started happening. This job also I'll delete. Now this job also I'll delete. This is accidentally happening. Now consider you have lost every job. So what you have to do, you have to keep one Jenkins server, keep it ready, and once you're ready, this is a blank server. Just assume this is the blank server. Go to the Manage Jenkins. Thin backup will be there in that server also. And from there, the setting at this location will be there in the backup machine also. Same location. So if you go here, Manage Jenkins, thin backup, just you restore. And you select the which version you want to restore. Yep. And here, right now you're not able to see, you have to stop and start. Then you will see, but there's one more quick fix is there. Manage Jenkins, reload configuration from the disk. I did it, and it'll take a few seconds. And because it's not too big, but sometimes it takes hours also to consider the job. And see, you got all the deleted job in a second. So this is the setup. See, HA is in your hand. Which strategy you use, it's up to you.
We can use common NFS also.
Yeah, you can use it. No problem.
Sir, I have one question. Can we deploy simulated code on Docker container as well from Jenkins?
Yeah, deploy means what exactly?
Code image, like we develop some code.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. So there's a plugin actually, a Docker plugin. So now Jenkins Docker plugins. Many plugins are there which will help you, but this is a good plugins, Docker plugins. Read, implement, and do that. So you can do that deployment. Basically, you can call this Kubernetes also, SWAM also. Many things can be done actually. Okay. Yeah, more questions, guys.
Is there any plugin, specific plugin for ECS Elastic container, AWS ECS container?
I have not used, but let me search Jenkins plugins for ECS. But by the way, you can use the command line, right? AWS command line will work with ECS, so you don't need a plugin for that. That's what I am always saying. Don't always depend on the plugins. By the way, plugins are there actually. E2 container service, ECS plugins is there. But you can use the AWS command line that is much faster than that. Yes.
Sir,
So where I can get an AWS command line?
AWS command line, Prabha. AWS command line. You install the AWS client and then you set up the ECS. Just to search in the ECS command line options, all get thousands of articles you get on that, not one book.
All right, I got it here, right?
Yeah, CLI.
sir.
Yeah.
Actually, I confuse from one terms deploy. Actually, deploy means deploy on Nexus, and one deploy is deploy on the server.
QA.
Hello.
Yeah. Deploy to Nexus means the package what you have, you are deploying to the Nexus server. Or deploy to QA means deploy to the QA server. The package what you have deployed to QA server. Now deploy to prod server means deploy the package what you have to the production server. Deploy means setting up, installing, configuring, and running it. That's called deploy.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Any other question? Last question. I'm going to take it up now.
So, sir, when the deploy happens on server, so on that server, what will happen? Means only the package will copy, or all things configuration and all thing will happen.
Yeah. Normally, what you do typically copy the package, install the package, start the package, and run the script, desired script run, and that's all. It's called deployment typically. But I'm telling you in the dumb way. Sorry. So you can do a lot of things. Depends on the requirement of the project.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Last question. Who's going to ask?
Rajesh, Groovy script, is it something essential, or we can do in the Jenkins? Because in our Groovy script.
Groovy scripts, you should. What was the question? I did not hear it. Groovy script what?
Without Groovy script also, can we configure the things, or we should learn the Groovy script? Is it mandatory?
Your voice is breaking, Raju.
No, what I'm saying is, without Groovy script also, can we do this Jenkins adding the features and all, or we should have a knowledge on Groovy script?
No. Did you ever face while demo? Did I ever talk about the Groovy script?
No.
No, you don't need actually.
So
once you want to go into extreme automation,
okay,
and you want to have a memory uses less, CPU uses less, all these things, then you will go into the Groovy step. So it will take a years, after using the Jenkins, you have an experience, so then only you can get it.
So that will be
the extreme step of automation.
So that will be used for pipeline building only. Pipeline
pipeline plugin. Also, it will help you to tackle. And if you want to customize create your own plugins, then Groovy. so many other use cases are there, but for time being to get started, you don't need at all.
Okay. And how difficult is it to do the same with GitHub actually? Did you ever try it or in any time? Because in our project we are
Learning
using
the gradle,
with GitHub.
Ruby,
No, GitHub. The same
for
integration.
what?
No, the same continuous integration with using GitHub.
Same is a URL, buddy.
Okay.
GitHub or Gerrit or GitLab or Bitbucket all are URL for you, right?
Yes.
There's not much of the difference.
Okay. Sure,
Okay.
I'll try. Yeah.
So guys, yes, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up the session now. If you're going to try it out, all these videos you have already, all the example projects, tutorials, notes, so you have it already. Going to try it out. If you have any questions, drop me an email and the support group, and then I'll reply to them.
Sir, one question. Tomorrow we have class or because it's very heavy topic today, so can you make on Friday?
So today is Thursday, right? So tomorrow, anyways, you don't have a class, huh?
No. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday.
Sorry. So today is Wednesday. So tomorrow, okay, yeah, tomorrow we have a class. Yes, yes. So tomorrow, what do you suggest? Tomorrow you should be having class, right?
I was thinking that this is very big topic and need some time to practice. Can you make Friday possible? Otherwise, it's up to you.
Okay, so let's do one thing. Yes, we can move the Friday. It's not a problem. So yes, we'll do that on Friday.
Okay.
Again, the Friday, but Saturday people will complain like they have to get up early morning. Again, we'll see that.
What will be the next topic, sir?
I don't know. I have to check. Check the calendar. Whichever is after the Jenkins, that will be done.
Okay. Actually, sir, I so enter the class in mid in the systems. Actually, this batch is running before I think 1 month, and I joined this class in the mid, so that's why I actually lots of tool I didn't get.
Problem. So you can go check the path, learning path kit and all. Go through the videos. Anyways, I think you have a 2 months of 2 months of time frame to complete this course. You have sufficient time for that. Okay. Next tool is Datadog. No, sorry, not Datadog. Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is the next tool.
Okay. Actually, some tool actually Sonar queues and these Jira is actually I didn't get attend that your session that I actually.
No problem. You can go through that. Okay, guys.